The Joe Moore Award, given to the nation's top offensive line, named its 10 semifinalists. It's a group that includes 4 Big Ten teams: Oregon, Ohio State, Iowa, and Indiana. The 10-0 Hoosiers have had 5 games this year where they haven't allowed a sack, have had multiple rushing TDs in 9 of their 10 games. 164 of their designed runs have gone behind center Mike Katic. That is the most for any player in the Big Ten. And Mike Katic coincidentally joins us now for our big interview. Mike, congratulations on being nominated for the Joe Moore Award. What does that mean for you and your fellow offensive linemen?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And, I think it just goes to show how much work we put in. Credit to Coach Bostad, just getting us ready each week, and credit to the other 4 guys on the O-line with me that, work well together so greatly, and we all just love this position and love this team, and we'll do anything for this team. So just really excited to be announced a semifinalist for the Joe Moore Award.
You guys have a bye week this week. You have a reasonably large game looming against Ohio State, which we'll get to in just a moment. But tell me a little bit about what goes into a bye week.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it's getting our bodies healthy and refreshed for, our big game against Ohio State, but also just honing in on our fundamentals and our techniques. And, maybe if that's getting the younger guys some reps and kind of resting the older guys, that's, if that's what that takes, then so be it. But we're still going to, be in there working on our fundamentals and techniques with Coach Bostad and the rest of the offense.
Mike, I'm going to date myself just a little bit here, just for purposes of the next question. I went to my first Big Ten football game in 1975, and I've been following the league religiously ever since. And I can say with great certainty that that game against Ohio State is going to be the biggest game that Indiana has been involved in my lifetime of following the Big Ten. I can't speak to 1967 and making it to the Rose Bowl and the games that went into that, but this will be the biggest game. How much have you guys thought about the enormity of what's coming down the line here?
It's all we think about. This, after we beat Michigan, all our focus switches to Ohio State, and we know the challenge that lies ahead of us. I've played Ohio State, in the last 5 years. So I know the challenges that come with playing Ohio State, especially at the shoe. So, we have a team that has a chip on our shoulder, and we're just really excited to play Ohio State and that opportunity that presents itself in Columbus.
Where does that chip on your shoulder come from?
Just the amount of adversity that not only me, but, the team has been through and this university has been through the past 3 years. We haven't had the best teams these past 3 years, and we haven't had the best offensive line. So that chip, it's a pretty big chip on my shoulder, and we got something to prove.
This team is very transfer heavy, as obviously has been well documented. Do you think it means more to you, or that you, maybe it doesn't mean more, but that you view it differently, the success that you guys are having this year, due to the fact that you've been at IU your entire career?
I think so, a little bit, because, I've been through the ups and downs of Indiana football. I've been here in 19 and 20 when, we were a really good team, and then in 21 to 23 when we just, weren't clicking. So, being a guy that has been through all this and has finally, broken through to a really good start to the season, and it's everything I ever wanted coming back for my 6th year, and I'm so happy I made that decision.
What has it been like? I mean, to run out to Memorial Stadium and to see the stands completely packed with cream and crimson, with IU fans, people falling all over themselves to get tickets, particularly given the context of what you said, of what it was like in previous years. And of course, the one really, really good year was the COVID year, where there was no one in the stadium for all intents and purposes. Yeah. So what has that meant to you these last few home games?
It's meant everything to me. And I try to, at least once a game, kind of stand back and just take it all in. And just, because being from, in 2021 and 2022, the stands being maybe a third of the way filled, maybe a fourth, and now people fighting over tickets and, trying to get these tickets that are, hard to come by. And it's just, I like to stand back, and usually after we get the win, just stand back and relax and just look at the stands, take a look around, look at the towels waving. The fans just, it's these fans have been yearning for a football team that they can get behind and they can really cheer for. And I'm just so happy to be a part of that team. And we have the best fans in the country.
And you almost weren't a part of it. I mean, you were exploring your NFL options after last year. Tell me about the conversations that you had with Coach Bostad, the offensive line coach, and with Coach Signetti when he got the job that convinced you to come back.
Yeah, it was kind of really quick. It was a fast process, but it was a Wednesday morning in late December, and Coach Bostad called me and said, "Hey, there's an opportunity for you to come back and play center. This will improve your versatility, help you at the next level, if anything." And then, I talked to Sig and I talked to my family, and we just found out that this would be the best decision for me moving forward and for my future. So it was a no-brainer for me to come back, and I'm so happy I did.
I know there was an instant bond with Coach Signetti over your Pittsburgh roots, which you guys share. A fellow Yinzers, as I know you refer to one another.
Yeah.
For those who are uninitiated, could you use the word Yins in a sentence?
Yes. Yins want to go down. Yins want to go downtown to the Steelers game.
Okay, so Yins is a plural referring to other people.
It's like
y'all? Use guys or y'all?
Yeah, use guys or y'all, but it's just Yins. Like Yins guys. My dad says Yins guys want to head down to the Steelers game down on the north side. Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit more about Coach Sig, because he is an interesting character, to say the least. When he went to that basketball game, and how shall I put this? He expressed his personal viewpoints about the relative merits of Purdue and Ohio State and Michigan. I think that's maybe the most polite way to say it. What did you think about what he had said?
Well, we've never had this kind of, rustling of the feathers, per se, of the Big Ten. And, I mean, I was sitting – I think I wasn't even watching the game. I might have seen it on Twitter or something after, or X or after. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to get behind this guy, because that's something we need. We need, heads to turn. We need things like that to happen, and it was funny, but I think it was his way of just rustling up the feathers and saying, hey, here I am. I'm coming for it all, and I'm not taking the backseat to nobody, and he hasn't so far.
That is for sure. Hey, Mike, I do want to ask you, I know you've talked about this a lot. We did a journey piece on it as well, but tell us about, you were growing up, and you had great admiration for your sister, and she did gymnastics and figure skating and ballet dancing, and you did all of those with her for a brief period of time to hang out with her. Which were you the best at? Like, which of those three pursuits has been most deprived of your greatness and ability due to the fact that you gave them up for football?
Humbly, I want to say none of the above, because there was nothing good about anything that was going on in the ice or anything. Maybe gymnastics. I can still kind of do a backflip, like into the pool and like off a diving board and things like that. So I think maybe I've used some of that athletic ability has transferred over a little bit, but not much.
I'd like to see you on the pommel horse. I think I would give. I'd give some.
I think there's got to be a weight limit on that thing.
Hey, I know you've got in the NIL store, you've got this great T-shirt that's for sale. I want to ask you a little bit about the moment. This is a really beautiful likeness of you.
Yeah.
Tell me about the moment of triumph at which this picture was taken.
So this was actually taken by my roommate, Trey Walker, in the locker room after we beat Wisconsin last year.
Okay.
And it was kind of just I used Carter Smith's Pit Viper sunglasses. I put them on and I just put my hands up and let the barrel gut hang out and Trey snapped a photo, and then it didn't really gain any traction until Mackenzie Holmes tweeted it after the UCLA game, and then it just kind of took over and went viral. So I decided to try to make a shirt out of it and capitalize on the moment.
I can see why it has taken off, because it is a true work of art and a thing of beauty. We mentioned bye week this week. What's your plan for watching football?
Hang out with the boys. Maybe there was some talks of golfing. We'll see. But just hanging out with the guys, getting around everyone and watching good games and just hanging out.
All right. Well, let me just say, I hope Yins all have a good weekend together. How did I do with that? Was that
I
good?
appreciate that.
Yeah. Proper context. All right. Mike Katic, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Best of luck against the Buckeyes, and thanks for spending some time with us. Really, really enjoyed it.
Thanks so much for having me on.